Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. It's nice to be back, and it's nice to be back with two of the nicest gentlemen I know, Amari Williams, who is the Shared Services Coordinator for the County of Cumberland, and, of course, now with his new title, CEO, Chief Executive Officer.
Thank you, Jim.
Is Tony Stanzione, and it's great to see you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
my
thank you,
pleasure.
Jim. Nice to see you.
Always enjoy having people from the Greater Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce, and you always have wonderful events going on, and you've got a great one coming up on, for some reason, I had the wrong date in my head, but it's November 2nd,
Yes.
right? For some reason, I had the 27th of October. I don't know why. But that's probably why I was out for a month trying to remember the right date. So anyway, this is the recognition. Would this have been the one we did at Christmas time a couple of years ago?
In
Last
the
year
parking
was-
lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the parking lot. Yeah, this is the same one. But last year we had it inside.
Inside, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this really worked out well. And you got some super people that you're honoring. Wow. I mean, I don't know where to start, but I'll let you guys start.
Absolutely. We're really excited about the event and, November 2nd, for it being coming up so soon. We're just really excited about people that we're honoring, the businesses that we're honoring. We just have a lot of great stuff to do for our Business and Community Heroes event. And we're thankful to our sponsors, and our presenting sponsor, once again, will be Century Savings Bank. And we're really appreciative of Century Savings. They're always coming in and helping us to be able to get the events that we have to do off. So we really, really appreciate them as presenting sponsor.
Yeah, that is wonderful. There, and of course, going along with Century Savings Bank is some lady that I think's involved with the chamber as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Our current president. So we're thankful for her and the bank, and it's really good time.
And Carol Musso is who we're talking about.
Yes, County
And
Commissioner.
She is county commissioner, and she is Energizer Bunny. She does everything. I go to the baseball tournament. She's handing me my hot dog, French fries. I mean, she's just an amazing volunteer and does so much in the community. She really, really does. So it's wonderful to have her as president. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's right, Tony. You invited me over to the Green Olive to surprise me, you and Carol.
That's right. So I guess we should talk about that a little bit. We'll get it later on, but Quinn Broadcasting is one of our business heroes for this year. So congratulations
Thank
again,
you.
Jim.
Appreciate that.
That's why you must remember the date, November 2nd, because we'll say, now here's Jim, and nobody will come out.
Right, there will be no Jim. Yeah.
Yes, I have that.
So
down.
we're going to talk about all of our honorees tonight, but Amari mentioned the main sponsor, but I'll mention we have Hometown Heart sponsors as well, and they are Charles Schwab, Don Daigle from Millville Island, Charles Schwab office, Wibco Incorporated. Wade and his family are great supporters of the chamber. We appreciate it. And Atlantic City Electric is also one of our Hometown Heart sponsors. Our hero sponsors are Inspira Health, Cumberland Mutual, and J.A. Mariano Insurance Agency. So thank you very much to our sponsors. And you can still be a sponsor of this event, by the way. You can still be an advertiser in our program book. And you can do all that by registering by October 26th. You see it there. It's tinyurl.com/BACC Hero. So BACC is the abbreviation for Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce, and Hero is the name of the function. And you'll be able to register and get more information, either to be a sponsor, to be an advertiser, or to attend the dinner and help us honor these great people and organizations.
That's a great thing to do, and you've got till the 26th, so please make sure you do that. And I know that it's being held at the Grove. The
Yes.
Grove has fantastic food and has a nice, large venue, too, that gives you plenty of room to honor everyone. And, so if you'd like to come, just go ahead and email them. And it is $75
Yes.
per person, but the meals are fantastic, and it's very well worth it, and you're also helping a wonderful cause, the Greater Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce, and I know the CEO now. So.
And it's especially great to be able to come out to this event because we get to honor so many great businesses, so many great people that have done a lot for the community, and they've had such a great impact on Cumberland County and the Bridgeton area. So it's really cool. I really love this event. This is my second year co-chairing it with my co-chair Randy Galan of Randy Galan State Farm. So we're just very excited about this event because it's a good time to give back to people who have given so much to the community, and that's what I really love about the spirit of this event.
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking myself about Jim Quinn is basically known for Millville. Well, I have to tell you, I realized just recently, 50 years ago, folks, before Amari was thought about, and Tony was still in grammar school, I started Bim's Pizzeria number 2 on North Pearl Street, next to the North Pearl Street restaurant in Bridgeton. And my landlord was Mayor Johnny Spaltor, super guy. What happened was he had the pickup center, and he decided to move the pickup center back to the factory. So the building was open, and here I'm taking on Big John's, right? Well, I actually did very, very well for the first year, and then I lost my manager, and I couldn't go from there. So I was thinking of the great times I've had in Bridgeton. I also, I started Quinn Broadcasting in 1975, and we did this program called Auction Time, and we did it in this studio. I did it in Bridgeton on North Pearl Street next to the cable company, and then they said you got to move, so I actually moved to next to Weber's Candy Store. That was my next location. I was there for several years, and then my son and I started a baseball card store on Commerce Street next to Ashley McCormick, right? So I'm thinking I've had a lot in Bridgeton, and of course currently I have 22 acres of land, the WSNJ radio station building and the tower and all those things. So, and to take it even further, back in the 1980, I started, it was called Clover Cable. My friend Joe O'Donnell and I started that, and we served Morris River, Commercial, down Lawrence, Deerfield, and Fairfield Township. So a lot of those are in this Deer group that you have, the rural development, or the group. So I was thinking about how I've been involved very much in Bridgeton, but of course mainly Millville, because this is where the site was when we started. But and I'll tell you where I've been blessed. I've got lots and lots of friends all over the county.
Yes.
Of course, being a county freeholder for 14 years and a county commissioner for 1.
Right.
So that helped me get to know people like you, Amari, and Tony, and so many Gary Zimmerman. Oh my gosh, I've been so blessed to have served with him, and Chuck Fisher and Harry Freitag from the Bridgeton area. You had the Gary Zimmerman Award,
correct,
Mark Pageant, and some wonderful people from that area. So I've been blessed. I really have, and I thank you all for honoring me on November 2nd. So that I'll make sure I'm there.
Come out to say thank you to Jim for his years of service to the community and to the business community as well. What you're doing now is really important to our area, showing the positive things, the good news that's going on. We're sitting in front of the Cohansey River and the riverfront there, and so again, to reflect on part of what we do this dinner and event for is to reflect on the good, the good people, the good organizations, the good that exists in our community, because so many times it's the negative that gets the spotlight.
It's true, and of course thanks to the Chamber, and I also want to thank Dave Wilson, who's going to be one of the sponsors, so that we can bring you this event live so you can see it. And then of course we tape it, we keep playing it again and again, because as Tony said, we only do good things. We're not here to rip anybody. We're here to show the good things that are happening in the community, and there are hundreds of them. There really are, and there are many, many great volunteers as well. You know that, Amari.
Absolutely.
You do that, and many people. We're fortunate in Cumberland County to have.
We really are,
and volunteers
and people giving back. One of our marquee awards is the Francis Bing Sharp Lifetime Achievement Award. And we actually have 2 honorees this year, and we're just so thankful to have such great people in our community. And the Rileys are one of our honorees, Debbie and Bruce Riley, and
Super.
and Ultra Clean in Upper Deerfield, Ultra Clean Technologies, and just all the things that they do outside of that. Their volunteerism through the chamber, their volunteerism through Rotary, working with the zoo. There's just so many avenues that the Rileys are involved in, that they give back in, and that people don't even think about. You see in that picture the 9/11 memorial.
Wasn't that amazing?
It just, every time you think about it or every time you see an image from it, it just really hits you. And they just have such a spirit of community and such a spirit of giving back and wanting to make the area better than what they found it as. And I'm just very, very thankful that we can honor them for their lifetime achievement in Cumberland County.
I remember having the honor of putting a flag out. That's when they were on Shiloh Pike.
Right.
And I don't know how many thousands of flags they had, but it was very impressive.
They
It
had
really
a flag for everybody who died in
was. Well, that's right. So it's 3,000.
not only the towers,
Yeah.
but in Pennsylvania and in Washington.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an example, Amari's right, of going above and beyond.
Yeah.
That was something started at their business, and then they expanded it, and then it became a community-wide event, and then it really became the premier Cumberland County event to commemorate I guess it was the 10th anniversary of 9/11 attacks. And they did it from the heart. There wasn't like people weren't rushing in to buy valves and stuff from Cumberland Valve and Ultra Clean Technology. And that's really when I got to know Bruce real well. So, and it went on for weeks. If you remember, the lead up to the actual commemoration was like a month or more of having volunteers out there so people could pick up their flags and place them in certain locations. So, and then Bruce and Debbie, as Amari mentioned, do so much for the community. So we should have the room filled just with the people who recognize the good that Bruce and Debbie Riley have done,
Absolutely.
and they continue to do. The bridge project that we just completed in the park,
Yes.
that was a joint project of the Rotary Club and the Chamber of Commerce Foundation and many other organizations and individuals who donated. But it was Bruce Riley's brainchild and Debbie's. That they walked the park, and you couldn't walk on these old wooden pathways anymore, and a storm years ago had knocked out the pedestrian bridges that crossed a little stream so you could cross to another part of the park when you're walking. And we raised thousands of dollars, but it all comes from the spark ignited by Bruce and Debbie. So please come out and help us honor Bruce and Debbie Riley. They're the first husband and wife duo that has ever received the Francis Binks Sharp Lifetime Achievement Award. A lot of times when we give the award, we recognize the spouse of the award winner because they're always a partner, but in this case, we felt the two went together so well. So husband and wife team, the first ever to receive the Francis Sharp Award.
Couldn't think of two better people to get it. That's wonderful. It really is, because they both give and give. And they're just wonderful, wonderful people. And we just don't say that, folks. If you know them, you know they truly are. And I have to tell you something, that how wonderful they are. The mayor of Millville is now one of their sales representatives, and I said, you'll love them. They are the nicest people you ever would be working for. Whatever they do it well. And Bruce and they both have such a nice, polite sense of humor. I just enjoy being around them. I truly do.
We saw them together at the, we had a walk for the K-9 unit of the Cumberland County Sheriff's Department Sunday. The Chamber Foundation sponsored it, and Mayor Lisa was there along with Bruce. They both have white German Shepherds.
Oh, that's
And they
neat.
both walked their white German Shepherds. It was neat to see
cool.
them. A lot of dogs. There was probably about 25 dogs, and they're walkers.
Exactly.
And they took a nice little walk around another one of our chamber members, Cedar Rose Vineyards,
Oh, they're good people.
on a beautiful Sunday morning. Have a little bit of wine and have some fun, and everybody was home by 1 o'clock. So another nice event. But there was Bruce again, front and center, volunteering and donating.
Great people. We'll be back to talk more about the Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce get-together that's coming up on November 2nd at the Grove, and we'll be back to talk more about that right after these messages.
When you want delicious food made from scratch soups and locally sourced ingredients, you head to Larry's 2 on Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey. Family owned and operated, Larry's 2 boasts one of the area's only salad bars with a great selection of fresh vegetables, rolls, dressings, and more. In their cafe, enjoy a piping hot cup of your favorite beverage made by one of their skilled baristas. Their complimentary Wi-Fi allows Larry's 2 to be the meeting destination with a friend or small group. They also offer banquet rooms that can accommodate 10 to 120 guests for any occasion. Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Call Larry's 2 today at 856-692-9001. Larry's 2 Restaurant and Cafe, located at 907 North Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Well, Wildflower Vegan Cafe is one of the longest-running all-vegan eateries in the state, and the only one in South Jersey to feature so much local and organic produce, where everything is made in-house from scratch. We have a small seasonal menu that changes frequently. We can always find healthy, hearty salads, wraps, soup, and baked goods, all made in-house.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Our special guests this evening are Amari Williams and Tony Stanzione from the Greater Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce. Amari is co-chair of this event that we're talking about. And let's get back to the honoring of people and businesses in the Greater Bridgeton area.
Absolutely. Like as we were saying, one of our premier awards is the Francis Binks Sharp Lifetime Achievement Award, and our second honoree is Mayor Jim Crowley of Upper Deerfield, and that's just a pleasure as well. I live in Upper Deerfield, so it's kind of cool to see my mayor get this honor, and he's entirely deserving of it. He does so much for the community. He's so involved not only in his church but in the community. He's just always around, whether it's an event that the township's doing or just something else that he's called upon to do. He's always available and always willing to do it and help anyone he can. So it's really cool to be able to see him be one of our honorees.
Yes, it is. He's certainly a great guy. It was interesting. We had a mutual friend, John Hollingshead, who was a Millville City Commissioner and was a wonderful person. And Jim and I, the one thing we knew, John was a little cheap. So Jim and I would talk about, did you have lunch with John? Yeah, I'll bet you paid. Yes, I did. Same with him. But he knew John. I guess Jim was involved with the vending company.
Yes. So in addition to his community service on the township committee in Upper Deerfield for a lot of years, and his church, excuse me, he also was part of running B.W. Stetson.
That's right, yeah. That was the company. That's where he would see John when he would go to Durand, and they would pal around and stuff. But they both had such great senses of humor and such wonderful men. John
Absolutely.
passed away, unfortunately, but I know Jim thought the world of him, too.
And Jim was a chamber board member for a number of years and active with the board and the chamber. So between that, his government service, his community service, his church service, his service in the armed forces, and the fact that he's a person of high integrity, he's well deserving of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes, he is. That's for sure. Certainly. You may be a resident, but I'm a big taxpayer up there. I got 22 acres, so we're neighbors in Upper Deerfield. And, of course, I'm right across from the State Police Barracks, which is always nice. And Upper Deerfield is one of the nicest townships, no question about it. You really don't have much in the way of crime, maybe because the state police are there, but you got a quality group of people. And one of my very favorite restaurants is in Upper Deerfield. Which one do you think it is? There's only two mainly you have to think about. It's in the Carl's Corner Shopping Center.
Oh, Delisi's.
You got it.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
It is, isn't
Great
it?
spot, yeah.
And my other favorites in Bridgeton, downtown Bridgeton, is the Town Tavern.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it
Classic
really
choice.
is, isn't it? Great. Yeah.
And now that we're talking about downtown Bridgeton, what's kind of interesting is one of our other main awards is the Gary F. Zimmerman Community Leadership Award. And this award's about going out in the community, an individual or an organization that's really making a big impact. And this year we chose Bridgeton Main Street Association because
super.
it's just been doing so much for the community. And, whatever they can do to revitalize downtown Bridgeton, which I think is, I feel personally, just right there about to blossom. There's a lot of new businesses that are going downtown Bridgeton, and the community's changing, and it's very inclusive, and I think they've just done a really good job with what's downtown and downtown Bridgeton. One cool thing that they did this year was the Bridgeton Guide, which they put out these guidebooks of all the restaurants and places to go in downtown Bridgeton. And I think something like that is really neat to be able to give that out as we have tourist events, and we have people come from out of town and they're like, oh, Bridgeton. Well, what's in Bridgeton? And it's good to have this nice guide to be able to give people, to show them all the great stuff that's in the great city of Bridgeton, as Mayor Kelly would always say.
Exactly. And boy, you think about all the beautiful buildings that really, the architecture. I mean, look at Commerce Street.
Right.
Is that one of the most beautiful streets you'll find with housing and businesses and everything that's on that street? It is gorgeous. And as you see behind us, look how beautiful the river is, right? And
absolutely.
you know what, I remember having some really great events on the riverfront too. And it's been years ago when Don Rainier was the mayor, we had fireworks. I don't know if you remember that on the river, but it was a New Year's Eve, and Don's house is over, well, I don't know what street it is, but it's close to the river. And then we all walked down, and it was. This is back probably, again, you were probably in elementary school.
No,
back
I'm
in the
not
80s.
that much younger than you, Jim.
It was a wonderful
definitely
event.
Main Street, it's really mainly volunteers right now. They don't have a full-time employee.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's, as we
Is that
indicate,
Debbie Boykin Greenberg? Is she one of the
Debbie's a volunteer.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Sandra Ulbrich is,
She's wonderful.
Ulbrich is the volunteer chair
Okay.
of the board. They have several board members, but Amari mentioned that guide. That guide has over 82 businesses and services in it that are located within I would say it's a 3-4 block area downtown.
Oh, that's great.
So a lot of times people who reminisce about the old stores that used to be there in the 40s and 50s, there's still a lot of new businesses. A lot of them are Hispanic owned, but the stores have really unusual and diverse merchandise in them. So if you want to know about that guide, you saw up on the screen, downtownbridgeton.com. You can go there, and there's a link, and there's an online version of that
that's
guide.
nice.
It's in English and it's in Spanish. So those are the kind of things that a small group of individuals can do when they really work and are committed. And as we indicate, we use the term "love where you live." It's something that Ed Overdevest kind of pushed in the county for a number of years, and the 3 chambers use the logo once in a while. So they are an example of people who really do something when they love where they live. Bridgeton Main Street Association.
It's fantastic. Congratulations to them. And who's next?
Well, now we're going to move into our Business Hero Award. And one of the businesses that's local to the area in Bridgeton is Russell's Automotive Repair Center and Russell's Truck Sales. And, you know, they're just a really neat business, and they also care about the community, and they're reputable. And I know with auto repair stuff, that's always really tough to find somebody that you can depend on and that does quality service and does it with integrity. And that's why we chose Russell's Automotive Repair Center, because that business embodies those principles, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I've gone by. They're on Landis Avenue, Deerfield
Yes, in
Township,
Deerfield,
right? Yeah, it's really very nice. Kepley, he's now selling trucks too, isn't he?
Yeah.
As
Truck sales. Mhm.
Truck sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides
Not
his
only is he known for his integrity and his customers, if you ever read his reviews, his customers give him great reviews.
That's super.
He's a great entrepreneur because he started with a really small place, and now you see he's covered a couple of lots there across
Yeah.
from what used to be Lobiondo Brothers,
Right.
on Landis Avenue in Rosenhain. And so we're honoring him because he's a good person, but because he took a business and put his heart and soul into it and has really grown it.
And think about it too. He's grown this business during COVID as well, and
Yeah,
you
which
see
is
it
difficult.
continue to grow. And boy, that's a good point. You want to make sure whoever's doing the repair on your vehicle is reputable. And as you said, this guy is very reputable and has great references, and that means a lot. So you can trust the person that's doing that. Okay, who's next?
Absolutely. Another Business Hero Award honoree will be Campani Legacy Lanes. And
Thank God for them. They're our own
right?
bowling alley.
Our bowling alley, and they're always willing to do what they can for the community. Whether it's a fundraiser coming up, I've been involved in things for the chamber and other organizations. And when you need to do a fundraiser there, what can we do to help? How can we get things done? And not only that, that community aspect, but it's, as you said. Being our bowling alley, our only bowling alley, it's a great place for entertainment,
It is.
and you're able to go out there, have a good time in a family environment, and it just makes it an easy reason to choose them as Business Hero this year.
I know my grandson loves going there. He's a bowler and loves to go. I thank goodness for them, honestly, when
Yeah.
you think about it. Where would Cumberland County be without, like Corpani?
We'd be going to, well, I don't want to mention her competitors.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Diana.
elsewhere,
We'd
County
be going to
somewhere else, yes.
Woodbine or Deptford.
right?
There's a tiny little bowling alley in
I
Woodbine.
go by the one there. I'm not sure if it's still open. I guess it is.
But
yeah.
it was known as Pike Lanes. Her father and mother
That's right,
started it in
yeah.
the 1950s. So it's been around since, let me check my notes, since 1958.
Wow, that's super.
It now known as Campani Legacy Lanes. If you remember, there was a period in there where the family had sold the business to someone else. Someone else ran it for a while. Then there was some really unusual circumstances that took place that involved the destruction of the bowling alley in Vineland.
Oh, yeah, right.
And
Elsie.
after all that, smoke
that's
cleared,
right. I
so to
forgot.
speak.
That was Loyal Lanes got burned down.
Diana went back and took over the family business again.
Thank God.
And they've really put a lot into it. And it's funny, Diana says, I grew up with the business. Well, she did. When John Campani built the bowling alley, I don't know if you remember, there's always been like a house sitting on the roof.
Oh, that's right.
And the family lived there for a while.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's, now I remember. Yeah,
And
I've
she
seen
seems to enjoy running it, and her families, you see her family there sometimes. And they have a bar, they have a liquor license.
Oh, that's super. I didn't know that.
So, and they have food, so it's a great place to go and have a good time. And she's also been a good, loyal member of the Chamber of Commerce for a lot of years. And sometimes when we look back, we realize that there's some business that we haven't honored. We don't know why. It just kind of falls through the cracks. And that's one that, if you think about it, it's been around since the 1950s.
Yeah.
And a member of the Chamber probably since the 1970s, and we just didn't pick that business yet. So this is a great year to do that. And Diana helps us with our bowling event. So we're going to get a plug-in for everything. Our bowling event is December 7th.
Yeah.
It's just a fun night. It's no speakers or anything. It's just a kind of little two-game bowling competition between teams from area businesses, or just if a family wants to form a team.
Oh, that's neat.
And we have food, and we have some raffles, and it's a holiday theme. Since it's December 7th, it'll be like Christmas at the bowling alley. So
Last year was a blast.
come on out.
That's
Now, I didn't bowl very well, Jim, but it was a blast nonetheless.
I got to tell you a funny story about bowling. When I was the mayor of Millville, Vineland Millville Police Athletic League put together a challenge of me bowling against Bobby Romano.
Wow.
So I ended up losing to him, and I ended up feeling so bad I wrote a check myself and gave it to the Millville pal. Because the check went to the Vineland pal. And then Mike Boyle said to me one time after that, Jim, he said, hate to tell you this, Bobby Romano was in every day practicing. That's why he beat you. Smart Bobby.
Smart man.
Dumb Jim, but smart Bobby. So who else do we have that we're honoring, guys?
Well, as we said before, Quinn Broadcasting,
I know them.
Yeah. that guy and his business and over 40 years of serving the community is it's definitely something that needs to be honored. And you
thank you,
just
guys.
continue to do a great job and continue to, as Tony said, get positive words out. So we appreciate you and definitely want to honor you that night.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
And Quinn Broadcasting and you, Jim, are another example of why when this event first started years ago, it was called Salute to Business and Industry. So it was mainly business and industry focused.
Yeah.
As COVID came about, we called it Heroes. So now we call it Salute to, or I'm sorry, what's the right word?
Community
Business and Community Heroes Awards. So a business hero, to me, is somebody who starts something small and builds it and also adapts and changes with the times. So when I look at your business's history and what you're doing today in terms of the way broadcasting has changed, you're right there. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It was interesting. When I started the business, the cable company said to me, you want to run this channel? Nobody wants it. I said, yeah, okay. So they basically gave it to me, and when they did, I had religious programming on Sunday, which was nice, and then I had Millville football sold. Other than that, in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with the little message cards that would go around and music would play behind it.
Yeah.
So I thought, wait, there's something we got to do. So I decided I'm going to sell merchandise. That's when the auction time show idea came to me. So I actually did that before Home Shopping or QVC or anything else. And I'll tell you truthfully, 1 year, I think it was 1980, I did $500,000 in retail sales on the TV. But then again, there were only 12 channels. Most people didn't have a remote, and people would just turn it on and leave it on. And I had regulars that would come in, and it was just wonderful. In fact, to this day, I still have people that were customers that talk about things they liked and all that kind of stuff. So that was the way to stay on. And then what I decided was we'll sell stuff for other people. So that's when the automobile infomercials started, and they were really good for us during that period of time. But, of course, that's all gone away, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's on their phones, and
Right.
that's why we're on Facebook and YouTube. So you got to do that. Anyway, enough about me.
No, but that's good that Tony, like Tony said, that you're able to adapt. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And not everybody can do that.
No, and COVID was very difficult,
Right.
And even now it's not as easy as it was before. But thanks to the chamber and some of your people that are, loyal and helpful, and I'm lucky to have some wonderful business friends that want to make these shows possible. Without the advertisers you see during this program, I couldn't put it on.
Absolutely.
So it's good.
So, Jim, you're another example of if everybody you've helped their business through advertising, marketing, education, county government, on down the list, cable TV, they should all be in that room on November 2nd
I would
at
be
the Grove at
appreciative of
Centerton.
it. I would really
Come on out.
appreciate that, folks. That would make me feel good. It would be great to see you, and you'd be helping a worthy cause as well, which is wonderful. So since we got past that Quinn guy, who else is next?
So now we're moving into our community heroes, and we're doing a pair of them together, and they're commonly referred to as the Judys, Judy Martin and Judy Allison. And if you've been walking through Bridgeton City Park during the day, you might have seen these two ladies. they decided that they wanted to start picking up trash in the park to beautify the park.
Oh, that's
and that
nice.
is just such an amazing thing to do. And I've seen them as I've been walking through the park, either on lunch or on a Saturday or something. I've just seen them or coming into work, coming through the park and seeing them out there, and it's just amazing. It's like no matter what the conditions are, they're out there because they care so much about beautification. And I also do this kind of thing as well, so I know the dedication it takes, because it can be a little frustrating when you go out and you clean up an area and then you come back 2 weeks later or a week later sometimes, and there's more litter out there. So it's a constant job, but we're really proud of these two ladies and the things that they're doing in the community. So we're really happy to be able to honor them at this November 2nd event.
Well, Judy and Judy, thank you so much for all you do for the Bridgeton City Park. And it is one of the nicest gems that the city of Bridgeton has. There's so many wonderful things in Bridgeton, and the zoo, the park, just beautiful. Really, really is.
So they're another example of love where you live.
Yeah.
Right.
The idea of a couple of people who, it began with them trying to get their 10,000 steps in.
Oh, that's
And then
smart.
as
No
they
wonder
did the
look so good.
exercise, they started picking up the trash. And they just have continued to do it for a number of years now. And they got nominated because people saw them and said, there's these two ladies who are always walking through the park, and they walk from Sunset Lake Gym into past the zoo, right up to Mayor Aiken Drive,
Right,
that
yeah.
takes you near the river,
Right.
up to Commerce Street. Sometimes I've seen them a little bit up the hill
Wow.
on Commerce Street where the old Shepherd House
Yeah.
is. And if they get stuff that's valuable, they recycle it and they donate that money to the Cohanzic Zoo.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
think about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then when we told them they were going to be honored, they told us, and I'm going to see if I can get the quote from them. They told us that they met so many people walking the park, and motorists stopped to ask them what they're doing. And their hope is that other people will see what they do as an example. And that's what Love Where You Live is all
Yeah,
about.
that's
That
true.
enough people will think positively about where they live and work that they'll do something good, and then that multiplies.
Yeah, it really does. Well, thank you, Judy and Judy, for all you do. That's fantastic. We'll be back with more here on Around South Jersey, our special event with the Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce coming up on November 2nd. We'll be back with more in a moment.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Well, Wildflower Vegan Cafe is one of the longest-running all-vegan eateries in the state, and the only one in South Jersey to feature so much local and organic produce, where everything is made in-house from scratch. We have a small seasonal menu that changes frequently. We can always find healthy, hearty salads, wraps, soup, and baked goods, all made in-house.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
When you want delicious food made from scratch soups and locally sourced ingredients, you head to Larry's 2 on Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey. Family owned and operated, Larry's 2 boasts one of the area's only salad bars with a great selection of fresh vegetables, rolls, dressings, and more. In their cafe, enjoy a piping hot cup of your favorite beverage made by one of their skilled baristas. Their complimentary Wi-Fi allows Larry's 2 to be the meeting destination with a friend or small group. They also offer banquet rooms that can accommodate 10 to 120 guests for any occasion. Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Call Larry's 2 today at 856-692-9001. Larry's 2 Restaurant and Cafe, located at 907 North Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guests are Maury Williams, along with the CEO of the Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce, Tony Stanzione. And we've got another person that, last but not least, sounds like
Absolutely.
a wonderful man.
Yes, he is, and that's Police Detective Joshua Thompson of the Bridgeton Police Department, as you see him there. This is a guy who loves kids, who loves his community, who loves just giving great opportunities to people to be able to go out and do things in the community. And he is currently the director of the Bridgeton Area Police Athletic League. So dealing with PAL and dealing with all the kids that come out with that, he's just great with the kids, and they love working with him, and they look up to him, and that relationship with PAL is so important, especially in cities, and especially with kids that need to get out and do things. It gives them an outlet and gives them a positive mentor or a positive person to see and associate with the police. So I think it's really great. And this is in addition to his over 26 years with the police department. So, I mean, a guy who's not only a great officer, but then he's also active in the community. You can't ask for too much more than that for a community hero.
Boy, you can't. I love his smile, too. What a nice man. I'm sure he is.
Absolutely.
And, boy, I'm sure when you think about it, what Officer Thompson has done for kids has saved probably many of them. It's because he's given them a positive role model and the fun to play basketball and do things the Police Athletic League does. And let me tell you something. It's funny. Speaking of Police Athletic League, when we do programming, we've done some Millville-Bridgeton basketball games. And at the end on Facebook, you can see how many people watch. Thousands of people watch the Millville-Bridgeton Police Athletic League games. It's amazing. I mean, honestly, several thousand people watch it, as people like seeing the kids. And that's one of the things I wish I were able to do more of. Unfortunately, it takes some money to do that, and I can't find enough sponsors to get that done. But somebody did that one day, and it was just tremendous. And that's a wonderful thing that he's doing. And I'll bet you I'll get to see my friend Mike Gamari there, right, that night.
Oh, yeah, Chief.
He is coming.
Yes. He and I go back to when he worked for the Bridgeton Evening News. What a nice man. What a really good guy, too. And that's where Bridgeton's fortunate. And I've always said this. I remember my son played music downtown Bridgeton. The guy that owned it now has a Green Olive. It was one of the light spots right across from, I guess, TD Bank in that area.
Yeah,
but
it was the Bridgewater Pub.
that's it. Thank you. The Bridgewater Pub. So I'd go over there with my friends, and during the breaks, we'd go outside and just stand around and talk and see an officer go by and things like that. But I never felt safer. I felt great because, well, the good thing about Bridgeton is it's 6 square miles, and you've got some great police officers. You got a good amount of police officers. I really have never, ever not felt safe in Bridgeton at all, and I think that's something that's a tribute to Chief Gamari and all the police officers, and even before him, my buddy John Bondi. He was a great chief as well. So Bridgeton's very fortunate. So
And I said,
congratulations.
especially with doing these kind of community outreach things and getting the young people to see a positive role model in the police, and I
Yeah.
think that's so important, and
Yeah.
for them to know that they have someone they can go to, and this is definitely a guy.
It really is. What a
doesn't?
wonderful thing to honor officer.
So while we're
Sergeant.
thanking and honoring Detective Joshua Thompson, we're really saying come out and pay tribute to all the police that service,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
whether it's in Bridgeton or Vineland or Millville or the state police or the county sheriff's department. It's a way to kind of say these people sometimes get a bad name because there's some bad ones among them, but there's really good ones. And John Cummings, who's vice president of our chamber and runs Revive
Oh.
South Jersey, was one of the nominators for Josh Thompson. And he said he has poured his heart into serving countless youth and families. He's invested countless hours in building relationships with young people and families to help guide them toward success. He is the epitome of what it means to be a community hero. So come out and say thank you to Officer Thompson, but also to police departments in general.
Very good point. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and especially nowadays, it's hard to get people to be police officers. I know that they've opened it up, and some good people that I know are going to step up and do that because, we are fortunate in Cumberland County to have all the great police officers we have, and the state police as well. We've got a couple barracks in Port Norris and Upper Deerfield Township, and they're good people. They really are. So let's recap a little bit about who we're going to be honoring and what's happening on November 2nd. 5 o'clock is starting time, right?
5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, you can have a drink or two
Okay.
at the Cash Bar and some hors d'oeuvres, and then 6 o'clock we get started. And, we want people to understand that we honor, in this case, I think it's like 9 people. Some of them are going to be honored together in groups. And we start at 6 and we eat dinner, and we have the awards done usually by 8:15. And you can see it live on Quinn Broadcasting, Channel
Absolutely.
22.
Yes, that's correct.
So if you can't make it, you can still get the positive vibes we're trying to create in the community by watching it. But we really want you to be there. We thank our presenting sponsor, Century Savings Bank, who's always steps up for us, Dave Hempel, and everybody at Century, including Carol Musso, our chamber president, and our Hometown Heart sponsors, Charles Schwab. Don Daigle's a relatively new member of the chamber, but he stepped up right at the beginning and sponsored this event last year. Wade Sogren from WIPCO. I mean, there's a company that is not only invested in terms of its business in not only Bridgeton but throughout Cumberland County, but a person who's given back to the community significantly. And Bert Lopez and the people from Atlantic City Electric Company, they're also hometown sponsors. And our hero sponsors are Inspira Health, Cumberland Mutual, and J.A. Mariano Insurance Agency. So that's the sponsors, and then we can recap the awardees.
Absolutely, and we'll start off with our Francis Bing Sharp honorees for Lifetime Achievement, and that's Upper Deerfield Mayor Jim Crowley and Bruce and Debbie Riley, and very excited about honoring both of them. And then we move over to our Gary Zimmerman Award for Leadership, and that's going to go to an organization this year, and that's going to be the Bridgeton Main Street Association. So we're excited to be able to honor them. Looking forward to our business heroes. We have Quinn Broadcasting. We have Russell's Automotive Repair Center and Russell's Truck Sales. We have Capani Legacy Lanes. And as I said, we have Quinn Broadcasting. And those are our Business Hero Awards. And then we have our Community Heroes with the Judys, Judy Martin and Judy Allison, and Police Detective Joshua Thompson. So as you've heard so far, we have great honorees this year, and we're really happy to provide this opportunity to honor them and give them a nice night where they can be recognized for all the great things they have done in the community. So we're really excited about that.
And you mentioned December 7th, Legacy Lanes for your bowling party.
Yeah, we have our bowling, yeah. So if you want to experience the fun at Kapani Legacy Lage, you can come out on December 7th as well. One key thing, as you see here, is how you can come out and purchase a ticket for it. It's $75 per person. So you're going to want to go to tinyurl.com/BACC-HERO, HERO. So that's tinyurl.com/BACC for Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce, and HERO, which is the name of the awards. And that's going to be Wednesday, November 2nd. And as you said, join us at 5 p.m. And we'll be getting started at 6 p.m. with the actual ceremony.
And let me tell you, folks, a lot of wonderful people you'll see. I mean,
Yes.
I think I enjoy that so much whenever I've gone. You just see some of the nicest people in Cumberland County, and you guys put on a wonderful opportunity, wonderful display, and great the way you honor everyone. And that is something that's important because a lot, like Bruce and Debbie Riley, I mean, they give and give and give, and it's wonderful that they're going to get the
Francis Bink Sharp.
Award. Yeah.
And we should mention Francis Sharp Sr., and they call him Binks, served the chamber for 40-plus consecutive years as a board member.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in the 40s and the 50s and into the 60s, he was like from what I've read about, so instrumental in moving the chamber and the town forward, especially during the difficult times when Owens was closing, etc. And our other named award is the Gary F. Zimmerman Community Leadership Award. Gary also was on the board of the chamber for 40 consecutive years.
Wow.
So that's how these awards get named after these people, but not just because they served long, but because they did a lot for their community. So the event is my favorite because I work with others to put together the photos and the kind of video introductions, and with that and also write the program. So I get to learn about these people, and every year you think there can't be more remarkable people left in the town and the region, but there are.
And you do a great job, Tony. You
Yes.
always
Thank
have
you.
putting that together.
This is a
Years.
fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a fun
Yes.
event because it does everything a Chamber of Commerce is supposed to do. You mentioned it's not really a big fundraiser for us. We want people to understand that
Sure.
$75 person ticket. If you run a big event like ours or any event
Sure.
now, and you go to any kind of
Right.
catering
Yep.
facility and you want a top-notch food,
Right.
almost $60 of that is for your food.
Sure.
So we don't do it as a fundraiser. We do it because chambers are supposed to boost their community, spotlight the good that's going on, talk about their business members. And we've mentioned so many business members tonight, whether they're getting honored or just mentioning them.
Right.
And so the event really does everything a Chamber of Commerce is supposed to do.
Boy, I'll tell you, going back to when I first became a freeholder, Gary Zimmerman was on the freeholder board, Chuck Fisher, Harry Freitag, Marv Pageant, just wonderful people from the West Side I didn't really know. And I got to know them and admire them so much, and the contributions they made to the county, and Gary to everything it would be. So we're really fortunate to have wonderful people, and you're going to be honoring some wonderful people on November 2nd.
And that's what's so great about things as they go over time. You know, that's something that could be a little bit difficult, where you have all these great people contributing now, and then who's going to do it in the next generation. So this is, to Tony's point, this kind of makes my heart flutter, or I get really excited about it, because it's like, wow, there's so many great people in the community to keep the community moving forward, to keep doing great things for Cumberland County. So I really get excited about this event because we get to spotlight those people. And for some people, like maybe the Judys, people might not know their name, they might have seen them,
Yeah,
but they
good
don't know
point.
who they are.
Yeah.
This is a good opportunity for people to know who they are.
Well, we got a good man here, too. You've done a great job, and
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. This guy's got a great communications background. Sometime I'm going to have to tap you to do some of these events we have. I've been very fortunate to get some great volunteers to come in and do parades and, festivals and things that we're able to do, car shows and things
Absolutely.
like that. So anyway, Amari, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in,
you.
and thank you for co-chairing the event.
Absolutely.
And CEO, it's good to see you.
Jim, it's always nice to see you, and thank you for helping us out, as you always do.
My pleasure.
And
Tony.
congratulations. much deserved.
Oh,
Yes, well
thank you.
deserved.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that on behalf of Quinn Broadcasting. We thank the Chamber very much for honoring us as well. For Tony Stanzione and for Amari Williams, I'm Jim Quinn. Our producer has been George Cuccia, and it's nice to be back. And I thank all of you with their get well wishes. Fortunately, Dr. Baptist has helped me to get the blood pressure under control, and I'm feeling good. And we'll see you again real soon. Take care, folks. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.